If you'd like to see the notes for this presentation, use the QR code, use your phone on this, and I'll try to put a link on the video later on. But this will get you all the notes for the presentation, and you can have them forever. All right?
I don't have any internet either. I can't figure it out. Maybe outside of it.
Anybody else need this information?
Oh, cool.
This is all the notes for my presentation. You can use it on your phone. You can have it. Good day, my name is Jay Reynolds, and my talk today is on mango frost protection, which is timely because a lot of trees were lost this year. How many people lost mango trees from frost? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, we do have some good information for you. I hope it can help. So, in preparation for this, I looked into all the different ways you could possibly protect a mango tree from the frost. And I spoke to people that had the experience of losing trees, people that saved trees, and I'm here to give you information, and I hope that you'll have success. So I'd like to thank a couple of people. Angie Halton is a botanist, and she's also an extraordinary teacher. She taught me how to do the QR code, which accesses all the notes for my presentation, and anybody that wants that can use this. You'll have them on your phone. Also, Josh Jameson from Cody Cove Farm, he made a long video which is in the notes, and he saved quite a few trees. He shows you how he did it in the video. He also explains some that went wrong and some that went right. Lastly was Mr. Connor of LaBelle. He saved 4,000 trees, which is a real accomplishment. They got down to 25 degrees, and then they also had 4 frost events. The low was 25, and one day below 32 for 10 hours. So it was a pretty good test of what you could do. Also, those trees are wide open and out in the middle of the field. No cover at all. So what causes the frost damage? Obviously it's cold, but how does it do it? So the worst time for a frost event is at night, on a calm night, no wind, and no clouds, clear skies. Usually we'll have a cold front will come through, it'll have some clouds, then afterwards it'll clear. At night it'll get calm. And as it starts to get calm, you may have gone up in the mountains. And if you go up in the mountains, it's cooler, right? Normally it's cooler the higher elevation you go. There's snow in Hawaii up on top of the mountain. And they're surfing down on the beach. So that changes on a cold, clear night if it's still. Something happens. That cold air actually sinks down to the ground. Warm air will be up above, but the cold will sink down to the ground. And the coldest air will be right there at the bottom. It'll be warmer and warmer and warmer. And then maybe at this height, there may be no more frost. So you could have a tree that has frost on the ground, but not up on top. So what we want to do is find a way to defeat that. Some farmers here on Pine Island, they have giant fans. They look like a tower, giant blades, and it blows and circulates the air. That breaks up the cold air that's on the bottom. By the way, that's called an inversion. That's a name for that, an inversion. Because usually it's warm above, cold above and warm below. It inverts on those cold nights. So what's happening is, to cause the inversion, during the day the sun heats the ground and the air is rising and circulating. But at night, the heat that's in the ground radiates out to space. It actually goes out to space. And once the ground gets equal to the air temperature, the inversion starts. And it can happen at 6 o'clock in the morning, or it can happen at midnight. It just depends. If you have a cold, clear night, calm air, and no clouds, the best way to predict that whether or not you'll get a frost and how bad it'll be is to look at the dew point temperature. You can find that on some weather reports. The dew point temperature is significant. I'll just briefly tell you what it means. It means the point at which water comes out of the air and dew will form. And on a frost night, you'll see it at 32 or below. It may be 33, and at that point you better worry because frost is coming. So that's how you can predict it. You can also, hello? Yeah. You can also watch whether or not clouds may be coming. It may be calm for a while, and then clouds may come. It may be scattered, the clouds move on, and then you get the frost. So those are things you want to be watching for to predict the frost. Now, I mentioned the dew point, and that's because there's water in the air. There's water vapor. It's invisible gas. Water as a gas. Just like if you boil water, it makes steam, but then it disappears. It is gas at that point. So what happens is, water is a very special thing. We live on the water planet, the blue planet. And if it wasn't for water, we'd probably be like Venus or Mars. We'd be or the moon, totally cold. But what water does in our atmosphere, it holds heat. Water can hold a lot of heat. For instance, if soil can hold that much heat, wood will hold about twice as much. But water will hold 4 times as much. Water. The water holds a lot of heat, believe it or not. That's why they use water bottle to keep your bed warm at night, keep your feet warm. Water has another property that's really interesting too. If water is in the liquid state, you remember your science, there's little atoms in everything in the world. In a liquid, the atoms are moving pretty fast. They're bouncing around. In a solid, they're almost still. If you warm the solid up, they'll start to move. The colder a substance gets, the slower the atoms move. And so just imagine this is full of water, and there's atoms in here. And imagine it's daytime, and the atoms are moving, right? The atoms are moving. There's water in there. But as it gets colder, they slow down. They slow down. And at just the right point, where they freeze, the atoms will line up in a little crystal form. Looks like that. See how they all lined up? now I'm simulating, these are not water, but these are atoms, and they line up in a crystal. And when they do that, something miraculous happens. Heat comes off. As water turns to ice, heat comes off. And on the scale of it, if that's the amount of water that, if that's the amount of heat that water can hold, the amount of heat that's released when it turns to ice is up there on the ceiling. It's that much heat comes out of it. And the technical term is latent heat of fusion. So that's the secret thing about water. And we can use water to protect our plants. Now, it's a double-edged sword because water freezes, right? Full bottle of water, put it in your freezer, especially if it's a glass bottle. What's going to happen? Water expands when it freezes, right? And eventually breaks the bottle, right? That's the cell of your plant when it freezes. It's bleeding out and it's going to die. So that's how it happens that the damage happens. A tree can lose all the leaves, especially a mango tree. It'll come right back. But there's a part of the tree, that's a branch of a tree, we're looking into the branch. It'll have the rings, like that. But right out next to the edge of the tree, right out next to the edge of the trunk, this part right here, that's called the cambium layer. And that part of the tree is where the sap flows, right here. This is dead wood in a tree, or maybe not completely dead, but it's inert. It's basically still. It doesn't do much. But the sap flows up and down within this part of the tree. So you can imagine if this freezes and it bursts the cells, you've destroyed the way the sap can circulate up and down in the tree. So this is what can really kill your tree. In some cases, Josh Jamieson's video, he shows where the north wind was blowing. It killed it around here, but not over here. So that tells you that yes, it really matters, and wind matters too. So that is how the trees can get killed. And believe me, you can cut every leaf off of a mango tree and it will have no problem coming back. But you get that, and especially down low where the graft is, you're out of business forever. It's dead. So we want to avoid that. So here's a few ways to do it. Imagine this is a mango tree. You've probably seen it. You will put up a blanket, a sheet, or whatever over the tree. One thing you want to do is not put it around and tie it right here. You don't want to do it that way. You want to bring it all the way to the ground. Because remember, the soil holds heat. If you hold that all in, it's all inside of a bubble. Now, the best thing to do is put cloth first. If you want to add extra, you can put plastic, which blocks all the wind. So that'll help too. So that's just a simple covering. And that would probably protect you from a 32-degree frost, maybe a 31-degree frost. Some people put old-fashioned lights in here. Add a little heat. That will protect the tree too. Another way, and Josh Jamieson used that. This is your standard irrigation micro sprayer. Water comes out here. Normally people people have this right next to the tree to water the tree. He added an extra length of tubing and put it up here and let it come down so that it can cover the tree with water. So remember, I said water holds a certain amount of heat, and then as it freezes, it holds a lot more heat. By adding the water, what you do is you limit the temperature to right at 32 degrees. It gets right to 32, but if you keep adding water, you're adding more heat, and if it freezes, it's adding more heat. So you can protect trees with water. It really works. If there's enough water, you want to turn that water on before it gets 32, right? Because if this freezes up, you're in trouble. Imagine having 4,000 trees and it freezes up, you're in trouble. So you want to start that like at sunset, maybe. Is this working? There we go. Okay. There's another way. Wow, really loud now. There's another way that you can protect the trees. And this is the way they did it out in the Army of LaBelle. He took this black plastic, he wrapped it around the trees, stapled it, and put a string around it, and filled it full of sawdust. That holds air, which is an insulator, and it blocks the wind. The reason why he did it this way is that he wanted, if everything else froze, he wanted to save the bottom of this tree and the graft so that the tree could regrow in about a year or two. And you could probably protect a large mango, maybe not that one, but with the right equipment, the right stuff, you could protect any size tree. Most growers maybe wouldn't use this. You could use almost anything. He used black because he left this on from December. He put this on in December. So it was on for 3 months, the whole winter. So he was ready. And it took, imagine doing 4,000 trees like this. He did both mango and avocado and a few other species. But it worked. And if you look at the notes, I've got a video showing that farm with all these on. And there's also a picture of the results afterwards. We're 3 months, I think, now out away from it, and the trees are regrowing. They did take some damage on the top, the edges, but they're regrowing. Okay. So does anybody know any mango jokes? I got a couple. Okay? Here's a mango joke. Take a break. Tangerine, right? Mango. Why did the tangerine and the mango have a great relationship? Romantic relationship. Anybody know? Can you look at it? What?
They do the tango together.
Now you got it. Tango. Because together they tango. Right.
Takes two to tango.
Yeah. Three's a crowd, huh? All right, we covered the trunk wrap. Now, the farm out in LaBelle did one other thing, because remember, they could protect this part, but this they didn't try to protect, and they actually didn't use water. Now, he didn't use water mainly because about half of the trees are avocado. He put avocado, mango, in that order. So he decided not to use water. This fellow has almost 50 years experience in citrus pecans, peaches, and all kinds of agriculture in Florida and Georgia. He didn't finish a degree in chemistry, but he's right up there. He got started on a chemistry degree. He is a certified crop specialist. So he used science, and he used some chemicals. However, they are organic listed chemicals in Europe. The strategies he used were to try to strengthen the leaves and the stems too. The first thing he used was to spray on a substance containing silica. Silica is what glass is made out of. And when you spray that on the leaf, it's absorbed and circulates through the tree, and every cell, imagine this is a cell, a plant cell, the cell wall gets stronger and tougher so that it can't be punctured by the ice crystals. Even if they form, they may not get punctured. So it reduces the chance of the damage. If you look in the notes, you'll see the product that he used. He also used potassium. Potassium is a mineral, and when sprayed on the leaves, it goes into the plant, and what it does, it goes inside of the cells, in the juice of the cells, it contains water. There's water in the cells. And what it does, it thickens the water up. That mineral content is very high. As the water content gets thicker, it acts as antifreeze. And it's harder and harder to freeze that water that's in the cell. So that's a good one. He told me he thinks that just the potassium adds 4 degrees. So say you got down to 28, in actuality, the tree would only experience something like 32. So it's 4 degrees. Now there's another one that he used, which is really interesting. In nature, these leaves on all plants are out in nature. There's different bacteria, fungus, dust, anything can fall on the leaves. But there's a particular set of bacteria that are called ice nucleating bacteria. And what that means is there's something in the shape of that bacteria that matches the shape of an ice crystal. And it acts as a seed for ice to form on the leaf, even above 32 degrees. With this proper bacteria on there, it will start to form ice at 36 degrees. So what he does is he uses a bactericide, which is the same one that people use for anthracnose. It's copper. It's a copper product that reduces the amount of that ice nucleating bacteria and reduces the amount of early frost at higher temperatures. So he figures that adds another 4 degrees. So if you add it up, these 3 things tell you why he was able to manage to get mango trees to survive at 25 degrees, and maybe even more. So those are there's one more. He also used seaweed extract. Nobody really knows exactly how that works, But it's just like you taking a multivitamin. It's something that helps the vigor of the plant, make sure that it has everything it needs, the best, a big meal, a nice food, nutritionally complete, in case there was something lacking. That, he says, that just helps everything else. There's one more thing that I didn't put on my notes until this morning. I remembered it. A few days before a frost event, you want the water irrigated. You want the tree to be full of water. And you want the soil to be moist, if possible. Because remember, that's it, soil. But if moist soil can hold more heat than dry soil, especially because water holds so much heat. Well, I have a question for you guys. Why did the mango sit on the clock? It's a joke. Why did the mango sit on the clock? Think about it.
A man, go. No, I don't know.
If somebody said, what?
A man, go. I don't know.
There's jokes about that. Man go. What's the opposite of man go?
Man, stay.
Woman come.
You're so funny. That's good.
No, the answer to why did the mango sit on the clock? Because it wanted to ripen on time. Okay? Well, that's the end of my presentation. Does anybody have any questions?
I do a couple other things with my mango trees. I use paper.
Okay.
Paper wrap around them, save the trunk.
Yes.
That's one thing. I also grow my
You
trees.
do it like this?
Yep.
Okay.
I also
It could be.
grow my trees in a parachute where they touch the ground. I just trim them underneath them. That way you don't hit them with a lawnmower or a weed whacker, things like that when you're doing things. And if it does freeze, it's already protected from the outside. So the hands freeze, and when you wait for May, and then you cut off all the bad fruit trees, and it grows back.
Uh-huh.
You weight the branches down?
No, I just let the tree grow naturally.
It just does.
I,
It
I,
just does. You just
well,
don't-
my trees, a lot of my trees are only 12 foot tall, but they're
Oh,
14 feet wide.
Yeah.
They touch the ground.
Yeah.
What variety is that you're growing that way?
I have Nasdaq high. I've got a lot of different varieties.
Some varieties tend to grow more upright, and they don't really
Huge.
umbrella so much, especially once they get to that size.
Yeah, but if you trim them when they're young,
Yeah.
you train them that way. Because when a mango tree grows, it grows like this with one up the middle. You break that one out of the middle, and you count the arms. If there's more than 4 arms, you break them off, and you only have 4 arms. And as they grow out, you do the same thing. You make the ones that grow down, and you'll train that tree to grow down.
So what you're saying is that by steadily pruning, you get that shape.
Yep.
If you let a mango tree grow straight up,
Straight up, it would be like
the lower branches die off,
Yeah.
right? And it won't be that umbrella shape. Anybody else?
I got a question. Now, if you use the cloth over top,
Yeah.
now could you use the micro watering too?
I'm
or
sure
is
you
that
could.
just too much? Would it get your over like wet?
I don't, if it's just a one night
It's funny
thing,
that I have a guy that does that
Yeah.
where I live at. I live up in Pinellas County, and he lives in Hillsborough
Yeah.
County. And he has a lot of big mango trees, all right? And he uses water for a lot of his, he has probably 40 different types of tropical trees on his property, right? He has 5 acres of land, and he uses water on a lot of stuff.
yeah, water's amazing.
So you could cover with cloth and then freeze, or would you put the water under the cloth? Or
Yes.
Under the cloth,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
You just keep like a stick or something to help keep the cloth off of your tree, or you just like it's going over the tree?
Well, if you got a small tree.
Yeah, if you're trying to protect
you
like a
throw a
You
small
could do that.
one.
You could do this,
Yeah.
like this.
Uh-huh.
Another thing, I have
And put it over.
bamboo that I grow that's 30
Bamboo.
feet tall. I cut off the branches of bamboo and I make teepees. And I wrap my teepees.
Down the net.
Right.
Yeah, that's not gonna do much.
Now,
It's-
if you use a cardboard, you'd still could you fill it with just newspaper, or would you use, what could you use
You
besides
can use
sawdust?
anything that's material wise to keep the trunk of the tree done.
Right, if you,
Paper, you know,
right,
we get newspapers and stuff, we get newspapers.
right, that's what I mean, you
No
could,
compost. Compost is just.
He's
No,
used compost
you don't
before,
do that.
you know, it can work. The reason why
You
he
don't want
used,
to keep it on too long, right?
the reason why he used the sawdust was that he wanted to leave it all winter.
Yeah. The compost
And,
would be
and,
the
it,
same
and he
amount.
also used the sawdust because after it was done, he just pulled that off and it mulched the trees. In fact, he said he put fertilizer down before he pulled it off and it covered the fertilizer.
so can you buy sawdust?
Yes.
You can't you?
A cabinet shop or a carpenter usually would have it. If not, the mulch is pretty close. It's gonna work. A finer
You can
mulch.
use different
And you
types
do
of
your
mulch.
Did he seal it so
You can go to
the
Home Depot, buy
sawdust
that
didn't get
mulch,
wet?
and everything.
He didn't use
Oh,
water,
he just used
but
mulch.
he didn't seal it.
Okay.
Did you
It
do
got a
your
little
citrus
moist,
and
baby.
still
your
get some
mango?
You want to-
Rain,
you want to use
but it's in the
mulch,
dry
it's nice
season.
to use
Yeah.
like-
Yes, I use
Okay.
it in Florida. Would you do your citrus and your mango
Same way.
the same way?
Citrus
They
and
do
mango,
protect citrus with micro
That's what I
spray.
mean, that you use citrus and mango.
The same plants in general.
So this is- Moaz asked, what is this material? This is called a slip sheet for a pallet. And imagine wooden pallets, before they put the material on top of the pallet, they put this down and it protects the items that they're shipping.
This would just last for 3 months.
So-
Cardboard would be bad.
He found these somewhere, I don't know where you can get them, but they're called slip sheets.
It's not really breathable. Is it? Does it hurt? You don't. Yeah, you don't want. I mean, I guess I'm just worried. I'm just thinking about 3 months, like how much moisture might come out of the tree if it
Now,
gets trapped.
now one thing he mentioned, you can buy this, right, Angie? This is sign material basically that you see yard signs, but it's corrugated, it has holes in it, right? He actually uses this to protect the trunk of a tree from water spraying on it, from their micro sprayers, also from a weed eater, or from he uses herbicide sometimes, also rabbits, it protects from rabbits. However, he mentioned, because this is hollow, it's got air in it, it acts as an insulator. And so it wouldn't heat up like that would heat up. It would actually insulate the sawdust. He wanted that sawdust to heat up, because he figured, I think he made some measurements. It was 10 degrees warmer inside than outside the sawdust. So he gained 10 degrees.
It's the same thing if you fell out of a boat in the middle of the winter, the first thing that dies is your hands and your feet. You try to save your body. The same thing with a tree. You protect the
bottom.
trunk, it'll come back.
Right.
It's like that tree was cut over there. You can see they cut it off and it made new branches. Well, if you protected that trunk ahead of time, then they cut it off afterwards and it comes back out.
Right. Yeah.
So there may be some of y'all that got here late and didn't see this or didn't know what it was. And you're welcome to take this. If you use this QR code on your phone, you'll be able to get all the notes from this. It includes videos, websites, products, University of Florida information, if anybody wants it.
Thank you.
Also, this is all going to be on YouTube, and you can find my YouTube channel on the notes. It'll take a few days maybe. Hopefully, I got a good video. Any other questions?
You have a business card?
My social media is all on the notes. It's got everything you need. Well, thank you very much. Oh my God. I don't-
Yeah, I mean. You want to try a interesting mango? I mean, just take it with you. You want it?
have there?
It's I think probably an old. It's a really old tree. Maybe it's an old ceiling, but it's different than anything else that I've seen around. You know, it has a very interesting coconut. To me, it tastes a little like coconut rum or something. You know, it has like a coconutty, but almost citrus. It has to go with like alcohol kind of bite to it. Yeah. Very interesting. Here. Oh yeah. Good to see you. Yeah, you need to left already? Yeah. I got time. Yeah, these receipts, there's all good ones in here. These are the high quality ones.
What's happening is water holds certain trees coming out.
I was thinking we could get from 7 a.m. this morning until 9 and then I left. Here, you want to try out? Me and Boss make them the other day. We're trying to name it all this video talking about it's a really 500-year-old. I think like a pasta with a comma, you know, like a punctuation mark. And it has like yeah. Like apostrophe. A good one. You got some customers over here. You can sample you one. They're old trees that people have in town, you know. I don't have a lot of these ones. I got a bunch of other ones that are like a Mauritius, but they're probably a seedling, you know. Hopkins over here too. Manatee River. They're good. They're almost hard quality. It's like from an old road on the Manatee River. There's like they're like 30-something foot tall. They're like 50 foot tall. Yeah, maybe yeah. They're a little shorter than they used to be, but. The mangoes?
These from here, doesn't it?
Oh, these are all mangoes.
Sorry, I'm being so rude.
I have leeches I can sell you. These ones I might not can sell, but I have a bunch of in my truck. You want some? I'll sell you some. $6 a pound. Yeah. Are you gonna be?
Imagine the investment of
We're active in the yeah, Rally's good friends of ours as well.
I know people in the area.
Get them before they're gone. Yeah, I'm trying to propagate as many of these things that are the only reason people have in their backyard.
And you have mangoes and like that's simply mangoes.
You know, this is its sister. This is the tree next to it. You can tell they're related. You know? But they both have that same point. But here, what do you I guess someone can ID you.
We haven't been able to identify them. The problem is they're
old. They're good.
it's not going to be a foreign server. It's not going to be a one of the best. But it's a way to go. I think of it as variety. Very clean.
Personally finding out.
On the whole area.
I'm just saying. you gonna be here for a minute? Okay, I was gonna say hi and we're over here. Oh, you want to bring here? Oh yeah, I'll put you over there. I'll bring you some lunch up there. Yeah, I want to go see it. Really old. More than twice my age, or probably 3 times my age. Like old grows under bags of yeah. It's almost like a sweet one. Like small, very small. You're crafted. Yeah, I think we were talking to my friend about I work over in LA. We've been really working over there daily. Yeah. Yeah. 2 Ds. Anyway, yeah. I was telling you about him. He's the one that
Really?
yeah, if you want to come visit anytime, I can set it up.
If you're not careful with sweet talk, you'll break the branches.
Yeah, I can be my phone number. Yeah. Yeah, I can go. No, but we've been rehabilitating the streets over there. I've been there pretty much every Wednesday for the whole year. Every year there. So I mean, yeah, and then they'd love to have you too. Running the place now. And, yeah, we're having a little mango event over there in July 25th. It's gonna be kind of late. That wasn't I didn't like that date. The CEO. They wanted to. Not yet. I mean, it's close enough to the water. There a little bit. I mean, but things are really rough there, just from hurricanes and drought.
Disease can get zero on it. What he does is then dry sulfur. He just takes every 2 months. He just takes a leaf blower and just does this.
That they created, yeah. So it could all be right.
They weren't old as I never got to it, but I could see
Trades out for that river.
I had a friend in
Like, near the entrance where you drive it, I'm growing on right there. So further to the opposite side.
All that spoils up on
I have a walking tree in my truck. Like, if you want it, you can have it.
ball it up.
Alright, let's go to your truck.
It was more very well, but I'm having an issue with too high.
You can see it. It has a ladder sticking out. I don't know what kind of wall. It's in there. There's not that much stuff in there. Well, yeah, I can give you my phone number or something if you ever want to come here as well. Okay. We can help you get over there.
All right, I will.
If you needed a ride or something. Yeah, there's all, yeah. I mean, I've been learning a lot since going there. I mean, the huge amount of fruit trees and native vegetables and apple stuff. But yeah, all of this flowers and stuff. Those are the best. That's a lot of really unique. It's a private. It's in a private trust essentially. But they do have. It's open to the public at certain times. It's called Eilingpeidec. center. It's an Asian art museum. He was a sinologist. So he studied Asian culture and translated medieval Chinese. He spoke like 8 languages. I mean, you've met. Good man. Like,
I don't know what title either, but some people say I'm
good. How you doing? Yeah. Did he go back?
Oh,
Did he?
over there.
I know he went to China when he was young and Marine. But then he went. I don't know. Sunday.
Yeah.
One thing
Yeah. No, he saved. You know, some really interesting shell mound. If you can get me the date for November and December, second Sunday. A lot of interesting mangoes.
just scan,
No, I
you
don't.
scan the crowd.
Multi-graph.
You don't have to even really look at people. They feel like scanning house.
December seems like it's more.
I'll make sure it's the second, in case they change it.
They know how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, I got you. Once you change your cell number.
Mind if I erase that?
No problem, I'm done. So that's your headphone. It works.
Okay. Yeah, he does. I bet it's a camp.
That feels out.
Yeah, he has some really.
Yes, you can have them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, there's a eraser.
They just smear with the
Oh, okay.
Bars.